Welcome to the Property Project Podcast. You're here with your main man, Sean.
And your go-to girl, Cindy.
Yes.
We finally got an intro.
We finally got there. We finally got an intro. Finally got, I don't know if it bangs yet, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, you think like yours bangs.
Mine's.
You think you're smooth in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, man. So yeah, we was going to talk about a situation that happened quite a while ago. And this taught us the importance of, this was during our deal sourcing.
At the peak.
The peak of our deal sourcing time. And I think probably even contributed to maybe the downfall. Well, not downfall, but what put us off for a bit. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, take us through the the story.
So I'll
correct anything that I think
definitely going to have a moan about this. So yeah, this was an era where we were deal sourcing last year. It was going really, really well. We're finding lots of properties, but our main patch was Brighton because we had a relationship with an estate agent that was just feeding us deals and we were just getting them out. We thought they were really, really good deals. And we just joined into Brighton ourselves like a couple months before that. So we're also kind of just learning the area. Yeah, the area a little bit more. Stuff like that, yeah. So yeah, it was going great. And then there was one person that we had met from before. We joined this academy. And it was like part of a training, and you network with a lot of people as part of that academy. So there's loads of people on it. There's like so many group chats because there's so many people on there. Yeah. And we met one particular person, and the start was so bizarre. Yeah. So the start was, she gave a lot of personal information. She met with Sean first, gave a lot of personal information. Sean kind of told me about this person, was like, we kind of need to help her. I feel like she's on her own. You know, it would be helpful for us to sit with her and see what we can do to support. So conversations continued to happen, but nothing was really coming from it. Just kind of more support and advice. Then we had a deal. We co-sourced with another deal sourcer. That deal sourcer then kind of confirmed that the company that they were working with were happy to take the deal and now would be going through referencing. So we're going through referencing. As we're going through referencing, I see I think it was someone's social media made me realize that this is the person that we were selling the deal to. Prior to selling the deal to these people, we were a little bit funny because we had a situation where we were going to sell them another deal. Yeah. And something wasn't adding up.
Yeah. So what was it that weren't adding? Let's go through that.
Don't sue me.
Let's go 1, 2, 3.
Don't sue me. This is just my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay. So we had a good friend of ours that we met through the academy, and we'd sold a deal with her previously, and it was a BRR deal.
Which is buy, refurbish, refinance.
Yeah. Right? So she then came back to us and said that she had another deal, really good deal, blah, blah, blah. Can you sell this on? So I thought, actually, the person that Sean's been speaking to and I've started to build a relationship with, yeah, she could probably work with this because she's been saying
fit into that.
She has a lot of money but doesn't know what to do with it. And I said, what's the point of her doing rent-to-rents where she has massive amounts of cash flow? Yeah. To the point this cash flow was just stored in her house. Like it wasn't in an account, it wasn't anywhere, right? So it's just stored in her house. And so we were having a conversation about this deal, and I was trying to bring her onto the deal, and I'm like, listen, you could make a lot of money from this. You're with somebody who I'm pairing you up with, who's done this. She's replicated this time and time and time again. She's just banging them out like there's no tomorrow. You're in good hands. And she was like, yeah, I want to do it. Then there was hesitation of sending the funds. Yeah. And the hesitation was like...
Well, there was a lot of questions beforehand.
A lot of questions. And not questions about the deal, right?
No, it weren't questions about the deal. It was more the person's side over finances and
how they basically
transfer, because there was a lot of things. I'm trying to tread lightly here.
I'm not. So she was signed up to Universal Credit, and basically anybody who signed up to Universal Credit knows that if there's kind of a trace of money coming in, they may question it if they're that eager. Like they may question it and find out. So she was like, I don't want to put it in my account because I'm in Universal Credit and I've got a council property that was provided to me by the housing people. Obviously, I know all this stuff. I work in social work. I get it. So I was like, listen, that's absolutely fine. Like, I'm Nigerian. I 419 the system as much as I can. I get it. TFL, we're not, no, I'm joking. But I'm not coming for no one's next. But yeah, so I kind of understood that wasn't an issue. But then it kind of then became, I was like, Universal Credit shouldn't have all your accounts because number one, when you first signed up, you probably didn't have all those accounts open. Number two,
they just needed what was there at that time.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah. So they shouldn't really know about that, but that's fine. You want to send it through to somebody else. One of our terms and condition is that we need to know where the money's coming from. So the person that we're signing the deal over to, their account needs to be the account that it trails over to. If that makes sense. So if I'm sending a deal to Susan, sorry, I'm pointing over there. Susan.
Yeah, I was looking over that.
If it's to Susan, Susan's name must be on or her company must be on the money that comes through to you, right?
Yeah.
So we were trying to find ways around this because this girl really wanted the deal. And I'm like, cool, we're going to try and help you. So I go back to the co-sourcer. I'm like, listen, she wants the deal, but I'm kind of nervous. There's just some things that just sound a little bit funky. Like she's got a large stack of money.
Yeah.
And I'm talking large, money I wouldn't just...
A suitcase load. A suitcase load. And it was all in cash.
But you never heard it here.
Yeah.
You never heard it here.
So
she's going to troll. She's going to get because that's what she does, by the way. She gets fake accounts and she trolls
trolls people, yeah.
So if you see any comments like, that's not true, I've heard this, it's probably her. Anyway, and this is not even to bash anyone, but it was so hard to get anyway, we'll get to that bit in a second.
Yeah.
So we were going back and forth on how to sort it. End of the kind of situation, she panicked and said that she can't because she was worried to transfer the money to another person in her family because it just all got very confusing. She was all worried about this, that, and the other things that really didn't make sense. And I was questioning it and we were sending voice notes back. Nothing made sense at all. Cool. I left it. I sent to the co-sourcer. I'm kind of worried about where this income's coming from. So even if she'd sent you the money, I'm not a part of this deal. Count me out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You do what you've got to do. Take the full funds. It is what it is. And the co-sourcer kind of said, listen, at the end of the day, the bank is the person responsible for that kind of stuff. So as long as we've received it as a bank transfer, technically it's the bank's job. And I don't know if this is completely true, but she knows her stuff, so I guess it is. That it's the bank's job to detect whether that money is authentic or not. So by the time it ends up in our account, they've already done their checks on that money. Yeah. Okay, so cool. But we were like, we don't want to be a part of this. Exit out. So we vowed to ourselves we won't be doing any business with them. It's a little bit too messy. I'm not quite sure. And by them, she had a partner, baby dad, whatever the situation is. So whatever issues happen, please just divert them to me. Sean does not want to be a part of this.
I'm not a part of this.
Sean does not want to be a part of this. I live for this.
I'm just trying to convey the lesson that was learned.
Me too. I just need to be honest about the lesson that we all found because before people start to misconstrue information, I want it to be very clear.
Yeah, I hear it.
So, yeah, then moving on to the Brighton deals. I found out through social media that the girl that we had tried to sell the other deal to was the girl that was now the investor. But this time it was her partner, right? So they've done all this training. Another thing that was giving me red flags is you've paid over 10K for training, right? How much is it per person? 12K. 12K for training, right? And you decided to learn nothing and no amount,
not even an attempt.
And let me tell you something, the training that we've got is so good because for someone like me who can't focus on reading, it's listening material. So it's literally one of those things where you literally pop in your headphones
and you could be washing the dishes, cooking, could be doing anything else.
So that was a red flag too. You're asking all these questions and offering your money out. Oh, if you do a website, I'll pay you $1,000. Bro, I've only made my own website and that was on Canva. Yeah. So what are you going to pay me for? Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those situations of I didn't quite understand why she was constantly throwing money at people, constantly telling people how much she had. It was bizarre. Even
to go back as well, the way that I got in contact with that person was we was having a whole group mastermind and I explained a deal that I had at the time, which was a very big deal. I think it was worth I'd say average around £1 million or whatever. That would have been a purchase price or whatever. And I was just trying to understand how to navigate this deal. And I just said, you know what, this is what we have and this is what they're looking for, whatever. Now, after that, after I've explained that to whoever was heading the mastermind, this person somehow, I don't even remember how, they got my number through the group chat, the same group chat that belonged to that mastermind now, So they've called me now and then just, obviously, bearing in mind this is the first time that I've spoken to them, they've told me about their life story,
the friend who stolen money from them.
Yeah, their hardships, telling me all this and that they've got all this money and stuff like that, and they just want someone to just do something with it. And I was like, all right, you've gone through all this stuff. Let's see how we can help, because you're serious enough, because you're on here. Do you know what I mean? You've invested in yourself. So I'm thinking, you've done what you needed to do. I feel like you must be or you're valid. You're valid. Do you know what I mean? So I'm speaking to Cindy, and we're finding out ways that we can help this person. We're coming across other deals, and we're like, all right, listen, this deal might actually be suitable for you, because they're looking for someone with this amount of money. You've got that amount of money. And she kept turning down deals that were giving her like 30, 40, 50% return. Sorry, not return on investment, but like giving her mass amounts, like doubling her money and stuff like that. And she was turning it down, and we was like, so
we kind of gave up. Yeah. And I think the last attempt with the previous one was like, that was our final attempt.
Yeah.
And listen, how you get into property is none of my business. Where the money comes from is none of my business. But I'm like, you've got to kind of be straight up with the people you've built relationships with.
Yeah.
So not that she owes just anybody that kind of explanation, but Sean and I had worked this girl. Like anytime she had an issue, when she was crying on the phone, when she had a problem, we were attentive to everything that she needed.
Yeah.
I was very clear with her, like,
outside
the type
of
of
property.
background we're from, like, we're not, I don't care. The thing that annoys me is when we have to invest time in people that don't, like you said, don't want to invest time in yourself, but don't drag me into it. Don't, like, do your thing on the side. Don't give me the sob stories of this happened to me and that happened to me and I can't believe this happened to me, but then not want to change that perspective or drag me into situations where you can't spend that money because that money is not legal.
Yeah.
I can't help you then, can I? Like, that's okay that the money's not legal, but if you can't spend it because it's trapped everywhere else, you can't come to me. I'm not a flipping solicitor. I don't know what to tell you or advise you on that. So that kind of situation and those kind of topics were happening. I mean,
so fast forward now to the deal that we was obviously, which was the final straw. The deal that which we was trying to sort out. So I'm trying to skirt around it, and you're just like straight.
I'm straight in there.
But so fast forward. Obviously, we've signed up. We're going forward with this deal through the co-sourcer, and then you saw something that you've seen the name, and you was like, I've seen this name before, because obviously through the co-sourcer was dealing with the third party, which was the investor, and so we didn't really know exactly who they were at that point. And then when it came through, and then you had seen the name, you was like, hold on, I've seen that name before. Why does that name ring a bell? And then you, obviously your social work skills, you managed to trace who it was,
skills,
found out that they belonged to the same people that we said we would never do business with again.
Yeah, but it was the other partner now. Like, so it wasn't the female we're dealing with, it was her partner / baby dad / whatever.
Or it was always a different story as to what their relationship was.
And it might just be complicated. I would have just taken it's complicated, but it just seemed like there was a different explanation every single time.
Along with a whole story, a whole movie after.
Literally.
But
and so the people that we were co-sourcing the Brighton deal with, we're really good friends with. They're absolutely lovely people. I'm never a person, I don't think we're ever people that would like to taint someone's view on somebody else. So although yes, I'm sat here moaning about this person, I will never say her name. Even if she says she is her, I will never ever say,
give her the satisfaction.
Or not even the satisfaction. It's just not my style. Like you've it just is what it is. Like, I don't want to then taint everybody else's view on you. Like, this is a story. I can keep you anonymous at this point. If you want to then show yourself, by all means.
You, innit?
But so I didn't want to taint their view of the investor.
Yeah.
So I kept quiet, but I was straight away. I think I said to you, "Can you believe it's them?" And we were on guard straight away. We were like,
I think we let the co-sourcer know that we don't really with this person, but because
I think I even barely said that. I just said,
you sure?
And not at that point, no.
Okay.
I think I said, is it with them? I said, we've worked with them before, but things didn't go too well. And I think I just left it at that. But like I kind of shifted it as if it was like the deal fell through rather than us not really working well together.
Yeah.
But we didn't. I defo did not go into detail, from what I recall anyway, about saying, no, because I didn't. Because I remember then after. Okay, I'm jumping back and forth. So I kind of said what I needed to say. They were like, oh yeah, they've been fine. They're going to go through the deal. Referencing came back, and the referencing basically said that they couldn't trace where the income had come from, and that the income had been somebody's information
Was fraudulent.
had been fraudulent. Now, there's two ways we can look at it. And one of the ways I just won't speak about, but because it's not to do with that, the investor, the lady that we're talking about. But the other way, so two people were responsible for it, basically. One was accidental, one was on purpose.
On purpose.
The accidental, I can't be able to get into it. It just is what it is. And the second situation was because they couldn't trace where the money was coming from. So this lady who was the estate agent was really annoyed and was like, guys, like, this is illegal at the end of the day. Like, why would you waste my time with this? Mind you, we've built such a rapport with her.
Yeah.
She's working with specific co-sources, deal sources at the time.
Yeah.
And so we were like one of the few that she was working with, right? So I was just like, why has this not happened? And why has it not gone through? And why has this come up? Everything that we thought kind of was confirmed through the situation. So I didn't say anything to her. I just said, oh, we can't go through with the deal. She then calls me. When I say calls me, you know when you have several missed calls? And I was like, I don't really, you know what the issue is. So why are we going to make it awkward and have a conversation? I don't want to, what am I going to say to you? Because I can only give you the truth, which is you've messed up and I don't know what to say to you. You know that, you know this. You tried to go through on the deal and tried to make it look like you know where your money's located, and you don't know where it's located.
And even when we've kind of even asked about, you know, the origin, not that we don't want to know where it's come from, but whether it is
legitimate,
as legal as you say.
Yes.
There were so many different stories.
Excuses,
and ways to find, like, oh, 1 minute it's come from this way, next it's come from family and friends, next it's come from the other businesses, next it's come from, it's come from everywhere.
Yeah, it's come
from everywhere. And
literally,
so we had decided to basically, the end of that is that we ended up burning the bridge with our...
Oh, you're going to just cut them off like that? No, that's not what happened.
Oh my
gosh. What happened was that they...
Go for it.
They then called us, blaming us and saying, oh, we knew you guys did this, that and the other. And I was like an idiot trying to cover ourselves and say, you know, we would never do that. You know, like, we are genuinely honest people. So much so that a lot of people in the property business tell us, like, you got to be hitting that grey sometimes. You can't be always hitting the white side of the black and white. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just got to be grey sometimes. And we're so honest that I was like, you know, this, that and the other, you know, that and the other. She's trying to, like, plead her case. Anyway, end of story. She tried to sue. She knew she couldn't sue us.
Hold on. Wait.
I've been paused.
Wait. Can we talk about that?
It's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I can talk about from my point of view. She tried to sue us, but then couldn't sue us.
Okay, all right, in fact, because you're not even involved, so
we are not involved.
I've distanced myself from this so much, but
So it kind of went back and forth, and it's still a really frustrating story because I don't actually know if anyone else is still involved or if they've kind of like dropped it, but we were going to be with, like, I'm literally I'm saying my story and I'm sticking to it for the people that we're riding for, because I know where their intent was and I know where their heart was, and we're not saying the story for like that's where I don't even want to really bring them into it because the beef is between us and the investor. But they're beautiful people, they're beautiful souls, and this woman tried to get them mixed up in a situation that had nothing to do with them, really. Like, they just tried to help as well. They had the same sub story. So that day when they came back to us and they were telling the estate agent, give us our money back, we need our money back, you better, and her man's all threatening people, thinking that this is
road, and you know, you thought, like, you're in Brighton,
you're
you know
literally
what I mean? Like, you can't
in Brighton
be conducting business how you might be conducting business where you're from.
Literally,
you know what I mean? You have to do it different.
Business here is business, it's not business.
Exactly. But even going back as well, because one thing you've always said, and one thing we stick to is that we will never argue about money. We came here and we started our property journey with nothing. So we will if we have to leave a situation with nothing, that's fine, as long as we maintain our innocence, our dignity, and all of that. Do you know what I mean? So now this person, this illegitimate person, I will say, had parted with some money towards us, and
that was non-refundable.
And that was clear in the contract. The importance of contracts again. So they're parted with some money now, and through their own doing basically, they caused the deal to fall through.
Yeah.
So that means that, and it was clearly stated in the contract that if you submit like false documents or anything like that, or knowingly sabotage the deal, that you will not get this money back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's just fair, because then everyone's spending time doing something for you.
Yeah.
It's wasted time for what reason?
Exactly. So so they've done that now, and then the deal's fallen through, and in a nutshell, they've been calling us, oh, you stole this money from us. You know, we bought a deal and you're not refunding it. And we were thinking, hold on.
I don't want this bad.
We don't
juju.
need this. We did not need to refund the money.
We didn't actually need to refund
We didn't need to refund the money, but in the end, we decided, you know what? Just refund the money, because at the moment, this money is just not even money that we want to be a part of.
Devil vibes.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
It's not giving Holy Spirit. It was giving devil
it's
vibes.
not money that's going to multiply in your pocket.
No, and if it does, that's not the kind of multiplying you want it to multiply in your account.
So we just dropped it. We gave back the money. We told the other party, the co-sourcers, what would happen on our part. We said we gave back the money. We don't care.
Want to do anything else? Yeah.
Whatever they decide to do, we'll back them on whatever they decide to do. Whether they keep the money, whether they give the money back, whatever. And then this person obviously tried to take us to court.
Yeah.
But
realized they had nothing. It didn't even get to the point where an application was put in.
Yeah.
And again, the purpose of this story is not just to kind of bitch about it. It's more like these things kind of happen if you lower your standards of what you want in business. Don't just get any money because money's on the table. Get money that makes sense for you, and get money that's honest money.
Yeah.
Because what will happen is it will bite you in the bum later.
Yeah.
And had we taken that girl's money, and okay, cool. I don't care. Like it is what it is. Who knows what would have happened last time, because they spun in that space where they got caught to when our relationship broke down with the estate agent, and to when they were threatened in court and stuff. The amount of lies that was spun in between that group chats. This girl was going from group chat to group chat,
tarnishing on like all of our names, just spreading lies to the point where other members are believing this person because they've obviously spilled sob stories to them.
Speak on it, by the way. So we chose for her benefit not to speak on it, because we know as soon as the information comes out, she'll look crazy. Yeah. And
writing on people's Trustpilot lies, or these lot of
creating fake accounts she can go again and again and again and again. And for me, it's that kind of person. Just know when you get into getting into business with someone, that gut feeling that you originally get of like, oh, they're a really good person, or kind of giving me shifty vibes, or stick to it, because you're getting those feelings for a reason. And I think with this girl, initially I wouldn't even say initially. You told me about her and I was like, oh, it's really sad. Then I spoke to her and I was like, she's off. Yeah. She's off. And like, straight after that, I said, I don't want you to tell me about anyone. When I tell you that I have a gut feeling about something, don't tell me, but give it time, because I've been giving these people time and then they be criminals. Yeah. So. But
even like going back to the point of this as well, because, you know, we had to remember the anti-money laundering license that we signed up to.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, like through doing that, there were certain things that we knew that we had to adhere by. And, What?
I flicked the mic again, sorry.
No, it's calm. But there's certain things that we have to abide by, and that are our responsibility regardless of what happens. Do you know what I mean? So again, making sure that we stuck by that. That if we didn't, we probably would have fallen into a trap.
You would have been handcuffed.
We would have been handcuffed
in a cell.
Was it the lock?
Yes.
We would have got the lock.
The lock. Yeah.
But so just the importance of
but you get it.
The importance of making sure that you do things properly,
making sure that you're covered,
be covered,
getting legal advice if you're not sure about something taking place, and
don't just take any money, you know.
Literally, don't take. Not all money's good money.
Listen, I know your parents have probably told you from young, don't take anybody's money.
Yeah, tell them again.
Don't take anybody's money.
Yeah, you know what I mean? First. Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway.
I think that's the end of it. I know you probably want to go in.
I did want to go in,
but that's fine.
And I just want to make it very, very clear before we round up. Yeah.
Sure?
Yes, I'm sure that it's not about us spreading dirty business, because that's not how we work. But I mean, this has happened last year. Like last year, I'm talking coming up to a year
Old
now.
things.
Yeah. And we've been able to speak about it. Again, we're not mentioning no names, and you can't trace it unless you were involved, or unless this person speaks themselves. So we would never give away and be like, oh, tarnish somebody else's business, unless they ask me for the match. If they ask to, do you know what I mean? But
no, we're not like that.
no, we're not like that. He's not like that.
Yeah.
No, we're not like that. But we're always professional, but we will kind of speak on any situations that happen that we think other people could prevent or learn from.
Yeah.
Because our experience is your experience, and we'd rather us go through it, be able to tell you.
Definitely.
You don't have to go through it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So takeaway lessons from this. So don't just take anyone's money, no matter if they're shoving, what was it?
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of millions.
In your face, saying take the money. No, make sure it's proper and it's legitimate. Find out where the source of that money is coming from. And also, I think, I don't know. Yeah,
people recycle
I've
their
got
money though.
nothing else
Let's not act like it doesn't happen. People do recycle their money. I'm okay with that. I'm not worried about necessarily where the money comes from. I'm not worried about the honesty moving forward.
Yeah. 100%,
And are you trying
100%.
to take me down with you? Because I'm not trying to go. If you're trying to make me a pawn of your little plan, it ain't gonna happen. So I think just be mindful that people are trying to change their lives, and that people's money did come from places that, you know, not everyone got their money from, and that's okay. It's about how they're moving forward with it, and how does that implicate you if you are to move forward with them. So not all money is good money. Make sure you have your anti-money laundering license,
and it's up to you to keep up to date with all the licenses and codes of conduct that you have to adhere by, because
have contracts in place. And if you need advice about it, you know where we are.
Man. But yeah, that's the end of the episode.
Nice ranting with you. Until next time.
Peace.